Aaron Everett was born in 1983 in Jerome, a small and deeply conservative town in Pennsylvania. Her upbringing was rooted in simplicity and tradition, with a life centered around faith, school, and sports. Raised in a devout Christian family, Aaron's mother, Patricia Everett, emphasized the importance of religious devotion, shaping Aaron's values and routines. While her father was present in her life, his name remained undisclosed. From an early age, Aaron's life revolved around church activities, school, and athletics. She participated in the church choir and spent her weekends and summers teaching Bible classes instead of attending parties like many of her peers. Sundays were dedicated to church services, both morning and evening, with additional gatherings on Wednesdays. Aaron also excelled in basketball and softball, showcasing her athletic talents, though her shy personality often kept her from forming close connections with her classmates. During her early teenage years, Aaron found herself drawn more to girls than boys, but the conservative environment of Jerome left little room for her to explore these feelings. She channeled her energy into academics and eventually pursued a career as a nursing assistant, a goal she successfully achieved. By the age of 24, Erin was still living with her parents, her social life limited to religious events and her work at a local retirement home. Friends described her as kind and hopeful, dreaming of marriage and family. She briefly became engaged to a young man from her church, but ended the relationship upon realizing that her true feelings lay elsewhere. When Erin confided in her mother about her attraction to women, Patricia was shocked and struggled to reconcile this revelation with her Christian beliefs. Despite her initial frustration and confusion, Patricia chose to support her daughter, offering unconditional love while grappling with her own understanding of Erin's reality. In 2009, Erin's life took a new turn when she met Tori Minick, a vibrant 20-year-old nurse who had recently joined the night shift at the retirement home. Tori, born on February 2, 1990, in Johnston, Pennsylvania, was outgoing, confident, and had a magnetic personality that contrasted sharply with Erin's reserved demeanor. Despite their differences, the two shared a passion for nursing and a commitment to their families. At the time, Tori was moving on from an on-again, off-again relationship with her high school sweetheart, Corey Donaldson. Erin, captivated by Tori's charm and beauty, admired her from afar, hesitant to approach due to her shyness. Summoning her courage, Erin eventually sent Tori a text message asking if she would be open to dating a woman. The answer was a firm yes, and with that, she arranged a dinner to deepen their connection. From that evening forward, the two spent more time together, laughing, sharing dreams, and, for the first time, Erin felt she could be her authentic self. Their bond grew stronger, and before long, Erin asked Tori to marry her. Tori said yes, but they decided to live together first before taking the leap. Erin approached her family with the request for Tori to move into their home. Initially, her mother opposed the idea, uncomfortable with her daughter's same-sex relationship. However, after Erin threatened to move out and live independently, her mother reluctantly agreed. Tori moved into the Everett family home but lived primarily in the basement, venturing upstairs only for meals and showers. At first, everything seemed to go well between the couple, but within 9 months their honeymoon phase abruptly ended. Their relationship began to unravel before they could even make it to the altar. Erin's mother started noticing bruises on Erin's back and cuts on her face, raising concerns. One day, she witnessed something alarming in the basement. Tori had Erin in a chokehold. Both women laughed it off, insisting they were just playing, so Patricia dismissed it, unaware of the deepening issues in their turbulent relationship, which became riddled with arguments and financial struggles. Tori started spending weekends away, visiting friends and family. One of those friends was her ex-boyfriend Cody, who made no secret of his desire to win Tori back. Cody even confronted Aaron at her workplace, urging her to leave Tori alone. Tori began leading a double life, spending time with Aaron in Jerome while secretly rekindling her relationship with Cody. Aaron, meanwhile, threw herself into her job as a nursing assistant, a demanding role that consumed most of her time. On the night of March 25, 2011, while Aaron's parents attended a church event, Patricia received a frantic call from her daughter. Aaron claimed a masked intruder had broken into the house and attacked her and Tori. Rushing home, Patricia and her husband found a horrifying scene: their daughter covered in blood next to Tori's lifeless body. Aaron kept repeating the same anguished question: "Why did they take her from me?" The parents called emergency services, and when the police arrived, they were met with a gruesome sight. Tori was dead, her body partially covered with a blanket. She had been shot twice in the head and showed signs of severe trauma, including hammer blows. In shock, Aaron told her mother and the police that an intruder had entered while she and Tori were sleeping. According to Aaron, the masked man, wielding a hammer, shouted that he wasn't after Aaron but Tori, declaring, "If I can't have her, no one can." Aaron claimed she tried to fight him off, but he shot Tori and bludgeoned her to death before fleeing in a green truck. Aaron described the intruder as someone resembling Tori's ex-boyfriend Cody. She even mentioned the truck matched Cody's vehicle. Investigators initially focused on Cody, interrogating him about his connection to Tori. Cody admitted he and Tori were still involved and had even been looking for apartments together. He claimed to know about Aaron, but believed Tori's assurance that they were just friends. However, Cody had a solid alibi. Witnesses and his employer confirmed he had been working at a loading dock at the time of the murder. With no evidence linking Cody to the crime, police turned their attention elsewhere. As the investigation deepened, they found no other suspects with a motive to harm Tori. The focus shifted back to Aaron, the only person who had been with Tori when she died. Aaron was brought back to the station for further questioning. During the interrogation, the 25-year-old woman stuck to her original story about a masked intruder breaking into her home and killing her girlfriend while they slept. However, as detectives dug deeper into her account, inconsistencies began to surface. Aaron had claimed to hear 2 gunshots, but the crime scene analysis revealed troubling contradictions. The window she suggested the intruder had used to enter the house had been broken from the inside, casting serious doubt on her version of events. As investigators pressed her, Aaron doubled down, attempting to shift suspicion onto Cody, Tori's ex-boyfriend. She claimed their relationship had caused tension, suggesting that Cody's disapproval of her and Tori's romance had driven him to commit the crime. What Aaron didn't know was that Cody had already been cleared as a suspect, his alibi corroborated by multiple witnesses. The pressure in the interrogation room mounted. Detectives, armed with mounting evidence, told Aaron they knew the truth and urged her to confess. Finally, under the weight of their questioning, Aaron broke down and admitted to staging the scene by breaking the window to support her fabricated story. She revealed that jealousy and betrayal had driven her to commit the crime. Aaron explained that she had discovered a text message on Tori's phone indicating she planned to leave her for Cody. Overcome with rage, Aaron had acted in a fit of jealousy. She recounted how, while Tori slept beside her, she took her father's revolver, shot Tori in the head, and, when she realized Tori was still alive, bludgeoned her with a hammer to ensure her death. Aaron's confession hinted at a crime of passion, but there was more to the story. In her statement, She implicated a 27-year-old man named William Nair, who was engaged to one of her cousins. Erin claimed that William had been in contact with her before the murder, sending messages with instructions on how to use the firearm. This suggested he might have been complicit in the crime. When questioned, William admitted to exchanging messages with Erin, but insisted he hadn't taken her threats seriously until the crime was committed. Detectives believed his involvement might have influenced Erin's actions, leading to suspicions of premeditation. To strengthen their case, prosecutors offered William a deal: testify against Erin in exchange for reduced charges. His cooperation provided critical testimony that bolstered the case against her. With William's statements and Erin's confession, the prosecution charged Erin with first-degree murder, among other offenses. The possibility of a severe sentence, including the death penalty, loomed over her. Erin's arrest shocked her family, particularly her mother, Patricia, who struggled to reconcile the daughter she knew with the horrific crime. Patricia described Erin as a kind, religious young woman, incapable of such violence. Before the trial began, Erin's defense team sought to establish that she was suffering from battered partner syndrome, hiring a licensed counselor with prior courtroom experience. However, the court rejected the argument, ruling that the syndrome was inapplicable. Erin had killed Tori while she slept, eliminating any claim of self-defense. The court also deemed the counselor's qualifications insufficient to provide expert testimony. The defense appealed this decision, dragging the process out for 14 months. Ultimately, both the appellate and Supreme Courts upheld the lower court's ruling, concluding there was no evidence of abuse to justify the expert testimony. The trial finally commenced on November 12, 2014. Erin faced multiple charges, including criminal homicide, first and third-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, aggravated assault, and conspiracy. The prosecution focused on the first-degree murder charge, the most severe, carrying the harshest penalty. In the opening statement, the prosecutor outlined Erin's actions in chilling detail. They described how she had retrieved the gun, loaded it, and fired at Tori twice before resorting to a hammer to finish the act. The trial promised to be a lengthy and harrowing journey, one that would determine Erin's fate for years to come. According to the prosecution, Erin later retrieved a hammer from the basement and admitted to striking Tori in the face at least twice. The prosecution sought to prove that her actions were deliberate, voluntary, and premeditated. During the trial, the 28-year-old Erin, dressed in black with a cross hanging around her neck, appeared unsettlingly calm, as though unaffected by the gravity of the situation. In her defense, Erin acknowledged that she and Tori had experienced significant relationship issues. She testified that their relationship had deteriorated since Christmas of 2010, shortly after they began living together in her parents' basement. Erin claimed that Tori had verbally abused her, which she argued contributed to the events of that fateful night. She described frequent arguments about money and their relationship, emphasizing that Tori's rekindled connection with her ex-boyfriend Cody had intensified the tension. Erin alleged that Tori had been violent toward her, claiming she was struck with rolled-up magazines wrapped in duct tape. The climax of her testimony came when she recounted how, overwhelmed by the ongoing abuse, she decided to shoot Tori while she slept. She admitted that after firing the shot with her father's pistol, she used a hammer to strike Tori in the head to ensure she wouldn't survive. After the attack, Erin said she panicked and tried to cover up the truth. She dragged Tori's body out of bed and broke the glass in the front door, staging the scene to make it appear as though an intruder had entered and committed the crime. This fabricated narrative was an apparent attempt to divert suspicion away from herself. However, Her story was riddled with contradictions and inconsistencies that weakened her defense and bolstered the prosecution's argument of premeditation. As the trial progressed, the court delved deeper into the turbulent dynamics of Aaron and Tori's relationship and the tragic choice Aaron made that night. Her defense team argued that the crime stemmed from the emotional and physical abuse Aaron had allegedly endured, claiming it had affected her mental state. The attorney painted the incident as a devastating tragedy, asserting that Aaron's actions were driven by emotional distress rather than premeditation. They emphasized that a crime of passion did not align with Aaron's typically reserved and gentle demeanor. The prosecution, however, worked to dismantle this narrative, calling several witnesses to the stand. Among them was Cody, Tori's ex-boyfriend, who testified that he was unaware of the romantic nature of Aaron and Tori's relationship. Cody revealed that he had dated Tori for 3.5 years and had even lived with her family for a year, during which he was treated as part of the household. He admitted that he and Tori had argued frequently, leading to her father asking him to leave. Despite this, they later reconciled, and on the day of the crime, he and Tori were scheduled to view an apartment where they planned to move in together. Tori's father also took the stand, echoing Cody's testimony. He stated that he was unaware of Aaron and Tori's romantic relationship and was shocked to learn about Aaron's arrest. He described Aaron as quiet and reserved, while Tori was outgoing and lively. He recalled seeing Tori just days before her death, noting she seemed happy and excited about pursuing a career in nursing. The prosecution also called William, who faced conspiracy charges related to the case. He testified that Aaron had contacted him the day before the crime, asking for instructions on how to load and use a firearm. Aaron had confided in William that she felt compelled to shoot Tori to prevent her from returning to Cody. William claimed he never believed Aaron would follow through on her plan. Aaron claimed the prosecutor had assured her that if she told the truth, she would face no more than 45 days in jail and that the charges against her would eventually be dismissed. Before sentencing, Tori's father addressed the court, expressing how his daughter's life had been senselessly cut short and how his family had been shattered by the events of that fateful day. While the family supported the plea agreement, even though it was for a lesser charge than first-degree murder, Tori's father made it clear that he had fought relentlessly to honor her memory. Aaron's defense attorney argued for a third-degree murder conviction, hoping to avoid a life sentence. However, the judge countered that true mercy should have been extended to Tori during her final moments, and the opportunity for leniency had long passed. On November 14, 2014, Aaron Everett, 28, was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In delivering the sentence, the judge cited text messages sent to and from Aaron's phone, as well as the calculated steps she had taken to end Tori's life. These details painted a picture of malicious intent. The judge acknowledged that love, jealousy, and tension could cloud judgment, but emphasized that these emotions could never justify such a crime. Upon hearing the verdict, the Minick family embraced each other through tears, expressing both their grief and a sense of relief. While the decision aligned with their hopes, Tori's father admitted it brought neither peace nor the happiness they had lost since the violent death of his daughter. The district attorney, speaking on behalf of the Minick family, expressed satisfaction with the outcome, stating they believe justice had been served. Aaron's defense attorney, though disappointed, was not surprised by the verdict. With resolve, he declared this trial would not be the last, promising to revisit the case in the future. Over the years, Aaron's legal team pursued multiple appeals, but each one was denied, with the final rejection coming in 2019. Meanwhile, William, who had played a pivotal role by instructing Aaron on how to use the firearm, was sentenced to just over 40 days in jail for conspiracy to commit homicide. Many considered this punishment lenient, given his involvement in the events leading up to Tori's murder. Aaron and Tori's story highlights the complexities of love, control, and possessiveness. Despite Aaron's claims of abuse at Tori's hands, the ultimate outcome was the loss of a precious life. Aaron's testimony revealed the emotional turmoil and jealousy that consumed her, distorting her perception and driving her to an unthinkable act. While it is possible to empathize with Aaron's anguish, it is equally painful to reflect on how violence is never the solution. What drives someone to commit such a desperate act? That question lingers in the minds of those who knew the young women, who once had the potential for a much different story.